Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can tell from the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time and it's my salvation story. So if you would like to watch that, go ahead and keep watching and grab yourself a drink, pause this video, grab a drink, make a snack because I have no idea how long it's going to be. I couldn't practice it because I knew my makeup would get all messed up. So here we go. I just wanted to preface this video by saying that in no way am I trying to force what I believe on anyone else or try and get someone to believe a certain way. I genuinely am doing this video because I think it's extremely important for us as Christians to share the good news of Jesus and experiences that we go through, and really showcase the relationship that you can have with Jesus and how special it is to have that and how important it is to have that through very difficult situations in life. So just keep that in mind while watching this video. I'm not trying to convert anyone to Christianity. I hope you watch this video with an open mind and an open heart. So now we'll get started. Okay, so we will start with the backstory a little bit. It's not very long. Basically, I grew up going to church on Sundays, and that was really it. We weren't really heavy in reading our Bibles and doing a Bible study or devotions every day. And I don't mean that in a mean way to my parents, but we just didn't. It wasn't part of our daily routine, and I'm only saying this just to kind of give you guys a idea of what our life or what my life was like before I accepted Jesus Christ. I don't want people to think that, well, I didn't grow up in the church, so I won't have the same background as you have going into it. I've been a Christian for years now, and I don't do everything perfect. I don't know everything. And you don't have to. We're all learning. We're all growing together. So it's a process for all of us. We're all just in a different stage of the process, and we're all family. So you don't have to feel that way. But anyways, went off on a tangent. Anyways, basically all I wanted to say was I grew up going to church on Sundays, and that was really it. To add to that backstory, I have an older brother and a younger sister. And then it's my mom and dad. And when we were littler, my grandpa had some complications and had gone through some health complications, and had gone through multiple surgeries and was in and out of the hospital from car accidents that he was in and so on and so forth. So he ended up living with us for about, I think, a little over 10 years he was with us. And over that time, he was in and out of the hospital a lot. So he was no stranger to any of the surrounding hospitals near us at the time. This is the hard part of this video. If you knew my grandfather, you knew the sweetest person in the world. And I know a lot of people say that, but he really was. In my opinion, he was an angel walking this earth. He was really sweet. He showed everyone love. He never knew a stranger. And was always really strong in and out of all of his surgeries, his doctor's appointments, through medications, through rehab, over years. Like, this is over couple years span. Like, he was going through all of this and living with us. He had gone from someone who was extremely independent and living on his own and doing his own thing, used to his own routine, and having to basically stop all of that and come live with us and kind of lean on us instead of doing things for himself. Which at first he was not okay with. He's pretty stubborn, but that's another reason why we loved him. So it was a really tough process and really hard on my family. My mom ended up staying with him full time and leaving her job. She needed to stay at home with him because he required around the clock care. And I know a lot of people say like, oh yeah, around the clock care, but really it didn't end when we laid our heads down at night in bed. It didn't end because it was constantly, my grandpa had 2 brain injuries and dementia later on. Not all at one time, obviously, but over a span of time. And he, in the middle of the night, over the night, my mom could not sleep because she was worried about him getting up or going somewhere confused, because that usually was at night that happened. And I say all that to say that we just kind of flipped our lives upside down to take care of him. And in no way am I saying we wouldn't do that, and we didn't do that with ease or want to do that. We would totally do that for him all over again because he was worth it, and we knew that he would do that for us. It was a lot on us, and through all of that is when I really started to pray. Previously, I would pray before I ate because I knew that's what my parents were doing, but I didn't pray for myself, and or pray because I wanted to. And that didn't happen until all of these things started to happen to my grandpa. I really struggled with seeing him like that because, like I said, he was so independent and was able to do so many things on his own, and it came down to every single part of the day someone had to be there, to the point where my mom and I were at the house and we would have to like schedule our bathroom breaks around each other because someone always had to be there. And I would do it gladly again. There's no doubt in my mind. I would do it. My family would do it. We love him. He was a very big part in our lives even before he moved into our house. So anyways, one night, my grandfather was in the hospital again, and I think I was naive to the entire situation. I was a senior in high school, and I think he had another brain bleed. He was in the, I was just talking to my mom this morning, he was in the hospital all the time, so it's kind of hard to keep track of what time or which time was what or when did that happen, because we were in there all the time with him. And this particular time I knew that it was bad when we had taken him to the hospital, because they had talked about getting him airlifted to another hospital in our state. And I just remember walking into his hospital room and looking at him, and the grandpa I knew was not laying in that bed. So I stepped out, and not really having a relationship with God, I decided I'm just gonna try something and see if it works. And I prayed. I prayed really hard. And I just asked him, I said, if you're real, and I feel guilty even saying that because I know he's real and I shouldn't question that. But I remember saying, if you're real, I need you to show me, and I need you to help my grandpa. I need you to help all of us because we're really struggling. He was my favorite person. And he did. I felt things started to get, I wouldn't say better, but they were kind of at like a stalemate. My grandpa, thankfully and God willing, had bounced back from a lot of things. not bounce back to 100%, but we had him a lot longer than I thought we would. And it wasn't that prayer that made me believe in Jesus. It was seeing Jesus through my grandpa. And I know a lot of people think that spitting out Bible verses or memorizing things or knowing everything there is to know about what's in the Bible or all of the Bible stories, that's good, but that's not everything. The relationship with Jesus is uncomparable to anything else or knowing anything else. My grandpa was just the sweetest person, and he showed the love of God without speaking a word about Bible verses or anything like that. And he showed it to me. That is what really changed my heart and the way I view things. I mean, with all of that going on, my grandpa was happy. He was always a really upbeat person and never really got down. He did have bad days, but I mean, with everything going on, he was always like the sunshine in our day. And I don't know where I would be without him, genuinely. I don't know where I would be in my faith without my grandpa, or without him showing me the love of Jesus through him. And I had another family member that I'm not very close to that was always shoving the darkness of the end of the world, and if you don't do this, then bad things will happen type of thing. And that was what she would tell me about being a Christian. And if that were the only person that I had in my life to influence me on my beliefs, I can easily tell you that I would not be where I am today. So the fact that I got to see a relationship and a happy spirit and love through my grandpa, that sold it for me. And there were many ways that God showed himself. He didn't have to prove anything, but he did. He loves us so much that he knows our heart, and he knew how we felt about my grandfather. That he was very careful with how things were handled when it came to him. So, like I said, my grandfather lived with us for a while, and it just became so much. It was physically taking a toll on my mother, and it got to the point where we couldn't even go out to dinner or go shopping as a family. We couldn't do any of that. We couldn't even go grocery shopping together. And I know that sounds silly, but I was getting older. One of my siblings were already moved out of the house, and time doesn't sit still for things like that. So as guilty as I felt then, I remember I can put myself right back in that place and remember sitting on my mom's bed and talking to her and just being like, Mom, you can't do this. It's physically taking a toll on you, and it's hurting me to see that. And I felt guilty saying it, but I remember feeling it. And I know that God doesn't hold us guilty for feeling that way. He knew we loved Grandpa and we had taken care of him for so long that we felt at peace with making the decision to move him into an assisted living. But that doesn't mean that we just dropped him off and said, all right, bye, Grandpa, see you later, probably see you like next month or so. No. My mom was there. I was there occasionally, and my mom was there just about every single day. She still took him to doctor's appointments. We still brought him Chick-fil-A, which was his favorite, or a milkshake. We were able to take him out and like take him to lunch or take him to the store just to get him out of there for a little while. But I mean, the place that he was at was really nice. It wasn't far from our house, so we could be there in an instant. And he really did enjoy it there. We asked him, and he was like, yeah, I like it here, because it kind of gave him back that independence sort of feel that he had previously before all of this happened, because he had his own room with his own bathroom and his TV and all of his belongings and stuff were there. So it made him feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more of like an independent person like he used to be. And we wouldn't leave him at a place that was anything less than that. Anyways, I think my grandfather was there for 2 months, 2 or 3 months, nothing very long. And last year on June 6th, my mom got a phone call in the middle, or really, really early in the morning, from someone basically letting us know that he had passed in the middle of the night, and it was very sudden and very not expected, because he was doing fine as long as I knew, or as much as I knew, he was doing just fine. There weren't any complications or anything. I was out of town, which I feel like I was really tough on myself for it, because I had fallen off on visiting him, and I really beat myself up about it, because I'm like, I don't remember the last time I went to go visit him. And I hate that. I just felt so guilty. My husband was deployed at the time, and I just felt so far. I was visiting my brother and sister-in-law, and I was really upset because my mom had called me quite a few times that morning, trying to get a hold of me, and my sister called. And I remember laying in bed at my brother's house and hearing my phone vibrate, but I was like, it's too early, I'm not answering my phone. And my brother came up the stairs. Oh my gosh, my makeup. My brother came up the stairs, and I could hear like his voice cracking. And he said, Mads. And I knew instantly, I don't know how, but I knew what he was going to say. I remember just freezing, and I gripped my pillow, and I was like crying really hard. And I was so mad at myself for being so far away. I felt helpless. I couldn't help my mom. So, my mom has told me that she felt a finality about the assisted living place that we left him at. And we had always said that we were so afraid that something was going to happen to him in our home, my mom's house, because we rearranged that whole house. I don't remember if I said that, but my mom ended up putting my dad ended up putting all of our dining room furniture in my mom's and dad's garage. And we made that his bedroom. So our dining room turned into his bedroom. Our house was basically flipped upside down. And we were scared that if something happened to him there, that I don't know if I would want to be in that house anymore. That day, I feel like flew by because my brother, my sister-in-law, and I got in the car and drove to North Carolina, and it took us about, I don't remember, like 18 or 20 hours to get from where we were to there. And I tried to sleep to make it go by faster, but I couldn't. I don't think I slept very well for a good 6 months after we lost my grandpa. I'm reminded of him every day. I know he's up there laughing at me, like telling me to stop crying or don't be sad, because I know he's in heaven and I know that he is in a better place and he's completely healthy and he's probably running around with his siblings. But I'm selfish and I want him here. But there's peace and comfort in knowing where my grandfather is. Do I still really struggle with the fact that he's gone? Obviously. But he's really given me something that I can never repay him for. I know I'm going to heaven, and I have my grandpa to thank for that. So, to sum things up, I do my best to live out a life like my grandfather, loving everyone and cherishing every day and every person around me, because you never know what's going to happen. But God has really been with my family throughout this entire process, and I know I wouldn't have gotten through it if it wasn't for him. Not every day is easy, but I'm able to get through it because of Christ. And I would love to elaborate on Bible studies or other things about my faith on my channel, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I feel like it's very important for us to share stories like that to contest to a relationship with Christ, not just believing in him and having the faith part, but the relationship is so very important, and it's made the biggest difference in my life. And I really want to be able for people to be able to see Christ through me like they did through my grandpa, or like I did through my grandpa. It's immensely important and something that I'll forever cherish. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was kind of long and the quality is kind of bad. I cracked my phone, so I'm having to work with it. But anyways, I'm really glad you guys watched through this video all the way to the end. It's very special to me and really important. I just really felt encouraged by my situation, and I really hope that it encourages some of you. And it's just very special to me. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you are not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I am planning on filming some more videos by the end of this week. I have one planned to do tonight, and we're supposed to get a HelloFresh box in this weekend, so we'll have more of those videos. I'm really excited. They won't all be this sad, I promise, but I'm really excited. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, comment if you feel like it. And that's it. Thank you so much. See you guys next time. Bye.